Today is day 352 of the October 7th war. Hundreds of thousands of people in Israel did not sleep last night. Families across Israel's north and south hid in bomb shelters because Iran's terror proxies in Lebanon, Iraq, and elsewhere shot rockets, missiles, and drones and tried to murder them. Thousands of children remained in bomb shelters today instead of going to school because their lives are at risk. Hezbollah, Iran's terror army in Lebanon, as well as apparently Iranian-backed Shiite militias in Iraq, launched over 150 rockets, drones, and cruise missiles at the people of Israel. Israel's air defense intercepted most, but as we know, no defensive system is 100% effective. Some rockets slammed into cities like Haifa and Nazareth, places where Jewish and Arab families live alongside each other. Iran and Hezbollah do not care about murdering Jews. They do not care about murdering Arabs. Iran and Hezbollah have killed tons and tons of Arabs in previous attacks on Israel, and they massacred tens of thousands of Arabs in wars in Syria and Iraq. Israel, on the other hand, invests in protecting all of its people, Jewish and Arab and other minorities. That's why Israel isn't just taking out Hezbollah's rockets, but also taking out Hezbollah's rocket launchers. Israel's jets struck hundreds of Hezbollah targets in Lebanon and destroyed thousands of rockets on the ground before Hezbollah could try to fire them at the citizens of the people of Israel. Israel struck a meeting of Hezbollah's Redwan Commando Force, the terrorists who planned to invade Israel on October 8th and multiple times since then. They planned on taking over Israeli villages, murdering families and children, and abducting hostages. Hezbollah's playbook, Hamas's playbook are written at the same printing press, Iran. Iran is directing both, which is why both of them have the same barbaric characteristics, things that can scarcely be imagined by the West, but are, according to Iran, the way they should fight their battle to take over the world. Israel's only on the first level of that entire pursuit. Israel degraded Hezbollah's ability to carry out their own October 7th massacre. This follows the world's most surgical strike ever, when Hezbollah's command and control was massively damaged after Hezbollah's special order communications devices, including pagers and radios, exploded. Since October 8th, one day after Hamas's massacre, Hezbollah declared war on Israel's people and has been daily attacking. Hezbollah launched over 8,000 rockets, missiles, and drones. Iran has been trying to destroy Israel on 7 different fronts. Hezbollah is, while we're speaking live right now, aiming 200,000 rockets and precision-guided missiles at the people of Israel. Hezbollah explicitly says that they are targeting Israeli civilians. Hezbollah is raining Iranian rocket attacks constantly on Israel's people. Israel is stopping Hezbollah's attempts to murder so that Hezbollah cannot restart them. Israel is doing what it must to stop Hezbollah's war and to bring its people back to their homes in the north. Let's take some questions from our live audience.
A number of people online are asking, why are rockets being shot from Iraq towards Israel? What does Iraq have to do with the conflict?
As part of Iran's strategy to take over the entire Middle East and turn it into one single Iranian caliphate, they have proxies operating in numerous places throughout the Middle East. With the United States' withdrawal from Iraq, Iran immediately saw an opportunity and sent in proxy forces that pose a major threat not only to Iraq itself, but are armed militias that have already fired precision-guided missiles and cruise missiles, not only at Israel, but at dozens of United States military bases throughout the Middle East. Iran has one goal. Their goal is to spread their version of Islam and to take over the Middle East and extend that into the world. We have to understand that if they are not stopped where they are by the world, they will continue to grow and grow and grow.
A number of people are asking, If you can please comment on the reports that there are celebrations in Syria and in Lebanon about the attacks on Hezbollah.
From what we saw in various places, especially with the Kurds, when there were attacks on certain of the Hezbollah commanders, we could see that they were going out and offering cakes and pastries. This is a sign in the Muslim world and in the Middle East of celebration. And we have to understand why. Hezbollah is a terror army. It's like the mob. The mob isn't only a threat to certain people, the mob is a threat to everyone. Hezbollah is a terror regime. They've essentially taken the people of Lebanon hostage. They've carried out wars on Syrian soil, on Lebanese soil, and they are a threat to the Middle East. So when Israel targeted Hezbollah's leadership, according to Western reports, via various means, it was those people around the world that were celebrating those attacks. This is just an inkling when we can see that if we gave those people the resources and support they needed, they would break free of Iran's proxies in a minute.
Rudisil on InstaLive asks, when will IDF forces cross into Lebanon territory to push their forces back?
First of all, the IDF has carried out some of the most important aerial strikes really in the history of modern warfare, targeting very clear Hezbollah top command structures. Israel has managed to eliminate, if you look at Nasrallah, who stands at the very top of Hezbollah's terror structure, and all of the people that are underneath him, they are all X's now because many of them have been eliminated in targeted strikes that relied not only on intelligence, but on incredible planning. Not only that, when the story is told in future generations, and they will see how Israel strived to avoid civilian casualties, this will go down in modern warfare as one of the most important pursuits of pinpointing terrorists while protecting civilians that are around them. That is what is happening on the ground right now. Regarding an Israeli ground attempt into Lebanon, Israel is leaving all the options on the table. And I assume, as most people do, that Israeli people in the north, close to 100,000 people that have been forced away from their homes because of Hezbollah's assault on Israel, if those people are not able to be returned to their homes, Israel will do what it needs to do to make sure that people living safely on Israeli territory are able to go to sleep safely at night.
Siam Nazmus from Bangladesh asks on YouTube Live, what is the present condition of the ceasefire in Gaza now? The Wall Street Journal is reporting that it is unlikely this year. Is that true?
Israel has said from the very beginning, the war in Gaza could end immediately if Hamas was to surrender and return every Israeli hostage to Israel, and Hamas would agree not to rule the Gaza Strip any longer and pose a threat to Israel. Hamas's answer has been, as soon as we can, we will rebuild. We will carry out another October 7th again and again and again. Every opportunity Hamas has, it's taking the food, it's taking the money, whatever resources it has, and that goes directly to its terror infrastructure. A ceasefire is what Israel wants, but Israel has insisted on a number of things. First of all, it is the Philadelphia corridor, which is between Gaza and Egypt. That is the corridor that Hamas used, often with the help of Egypt, to funnel tens of thousands of rockets, supplies, and explosive devices into the Gaza Strip. Israel has insisted that that remain under Israeli control so we can ensure that Hamas cannot rebuild itself. Every opportunity Hamas has had, it has said no to these deals. Hamas is dedicated to death. We are hoping, Israel is constantly hoping, that there will be an opportunity to bring our people home, bring peace to the people of Gaza, and remove Hamas from the equation.
M. Salome Vicente asks, what was the impact of the last UN vote on IDF strategy?
The IDF has a strategy which is to protect the people of Israel. The people of Israel against enemies on 7 different fronts. The first and most important priority for Israel is to protect our people. We know that we have the right to defend our own people, like any other nation in the world has that right. And if that is not recognized by an international institution, it is a flaw, a historical flaw in those institutions. It took the United Nations almost 10 months to acknowledge the barbarism in which Israeli women were sexually raped on October 7th. Israel has lost a lot of confidence, the Israeli people have lost a lot of confidence, and to certain members of these international agencies that have consistently come out on the side of Hamas, calling for the arrest of Israelis while not even mentioning the word Sinwar, Hamas, and terrorism. Therefore, the Israeli people, along with our good friends in the United States and other countries around the world, know that we have the basic human right, which is to defend our people against an enemy that launched attacks on us from multiple fronts.
For our last question, Eleanor on InstaLive asks, how can we stand up to bullies and lies like how Eylon Levy stood up to Mehdi San in the debate last night?
Eylon Levy gave one of the most impressive debate performances that anyone has seen against Mehdi Hassan, who is, according to what he said, sounds to me to be more of a mouthpiece for Hamas than anything else. Eylon made incredibly compelling arguments based on fact, and that is going to be presented to all of the viewers in the coming days. In the meantime, we will be releasing materials that are short excerpts of that debate with some analysis to give you an idea of how Eylon spoke to the facts and how Mehdi resorted wherever he could to anecdotes and to avoiding those questions. So stay tuned and look at that as one of the true examples of how the facts are correct and how Mehdi tried to avoid that information. That is the last question, and I thank you for joining. This is the live broadcast of the Israeli Citizen Office. We are here every day, Sunday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Israel time. We're here to take your questions and bring you the latest news, the most important information, so that you can know the truth and speak the truth. Thank you for joining.